We all want a home that feels like a true sanctuary, right? But let's be honest, the reality is, well, it's often just chaos. So today, we're going to dive into a design philosophy that can totally transform those cluttered spaces. And we'll do it by looking at one really special piece of furniture. Does this look familiar to you? I bet it does. You've got the TV, the sound system, and that absolute mess of consoles and cables. It's crazy, isn't it? The very stuff we use to relax ends up creating all this visual noise, all this stress. It's a battle so many of us fight every single day. So when we try to fix it, what happens? We end up compromising, don't we? We buy furniture that's, okay, functional, but it's totally boring. Or it looks amazing, but it's completely impractical. And a lot of the time, it's made from stuff that's just not built to last. But what if you didn't have to compromise? What if there was a solution that actually blends a really deep philosophy with amazing craftsmanship and smart modern design? Well, that's exactly what we're about to get into. Okay, I know what you're thinking. That is a mouthful, but trust me, every single word in that name, vintage, pastoral, solid oak, wabi-sabi, is like a key. Each one unlocks a piece of the story, because we're not just talking about a piece of furniture here. We're talking about a blend of some really powerful ideas. So let's break it all down. All right, so the absolute core of this whole thing is a Japanese philosophy called Wabi-Sabi, and it's such a beautiful idea. It's all about finding beauty in things that aren't perfect. It's about authenticity. So instead of chasing that sterile, flawless look like it just came out of a factory, Wabi-Sabi celebrates the story, the character that comes from age and from being made of natural stuff. And what's really cool is when you bring that idea into your home, you get this feeling. They call it a wabi wind ambiance. I love that. It's not just a style, it's a vibe. It's this deep sense of calm and just feeling grounded. And it all comes from being around things that are real, things that actually have a history. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of the craftsmanship. I like to think of it as having 3 pillars that hold the whole thing up: what it's made of, the artistry that went into it, and the philosophy behind it all. First up, the foundation. We're talking solid oak. And no, this isn't that flimsy particle board with a sticker on top. This is the real deal. Premium, heavy, substantial wood that just radiates natural warmth into a space. There's a reason they chose it. It's super robust, it's stable, and honestly, it just gets more beautiful as it ages. But it's not just about the wood, it's about the human touch. Just look at these floral patterns. These aren't just stamped out by a machine, 1,000 at a time, no way. They're meticulously carved by hand. And that means every single one is a little bit different, a little bit unique. It gives the whole piece this charming kind of pastoral soul. You can feel that connection to real, honest-to-goodness craftsmanship. And really, this is what it all boils down to, right? The difference is just night and day. On one side, you have furniture that tells a story. You can see the unique details, the grain of the wood, the mark of the artist. It adds character. And on the other side, a generic box that just fills up space. It's the difference between having an object with a soul versus something that's just there. So you might be wondering, how do all these different styles, Wabi-Sabi, Nordic, Pastoral, come together without looking like a total mess? Well, it's a really smart fusion. Think of it like this. The Wabi-Sabi part gives it that soulful, calming vibe. Then it borrows those clean lines and modern functionality from Nordic design, so it actually works in a 21st century home. And finally, that pastoral touch brings in the handcrafted, elegant details. The end result is something that's serene, super practical, and beautiful all at once. Okay, so we've talked about the philosophy, we've talked about the craftsmanship, but let's get to the most important part, the impact. How does a cabinet like this actually take your room from cluttered and chaotic to a true sanctuary? This is where the practical magic happens. Step 1. It has a ton of storage, so you can finally hide away all the media, the books, the random stuff. Step 2. It's built to handle your tech. It helps you manage all those messy wires and integrate everything seamlessly. And what's the result of all that? A clean, organized space. Your room can finally breathe. And that's when it starts to feel like a real sanctuary. And really, that's the big takeaway here. This isn't just another piece of disposable furniture that you're going to toss out in a few years. It's an investment in something that's built to last, something that brings a real sense of style and calm into your home. It literally elevates the entire room. There's a quote from the source material that I just love. It really hits the nail on the head. It says, "Your furniture should tell a story and reflect your taste." I mean, isn't that what we all want? Your home should be a reflection of you. The things you own can, and I think they should, tell your story, all while being beautiful and actually, useful. So I want to leave you with this final thought. What if your furniture was more than just an object? What if the things you chose to live with actually carried a philosophy with them, a story, an intention? That's the real power behind this whole wabi-sabi idea. It's an invitation to bring a little more meaning, a little more soul into our everyday lives.